How's it going, everybody? Today we have this Nexgadget 8-in-1 charging stand for Apple devices from Nexgadget, obviously. It is a very nice device, I would say. You got a lot of metal used in the construction, which is both a pro and a con, but I'll get into that in a second. However, it is a very nice charger, but full discretion, I did get this for free from Nexgadget for review. So I'm going to do my best not to let that interfere at the risk of maybe not getting another promotion from Nexgadget. But I've got to say, I am very pleased with the overall value aspect of this charger. You do have to adjust this up and down to charge an iPhone in landscape or portrait, which isn't the best solution to that. I know a lot of stand chargers, even one that I have, just has two coils to where you can put it either way. You don't have to make that choice. But I will say that this does have a nicer aesthetic to it. Excuses for the metal on metal sound there. I actually loosened that up a little bit too much. But it's not that hard to put together. You can see unscrewing that in. And you just have that little thumb screw to put that on and adjust it up and down. And you have a similar thumb screw down here to hold the base on. And then you've got 4 Phillips head screws, and they do give you the screwdriver to run that as well. But just to put that together, and it's not hard to do at all. It only took like 5 minutes, if that. But one of the things that you do have to use that I guess isn't a deal breaker, but I kind of wish you didn't have to do this, is especially if you have the stainless steel Apple Watch charging puck, you'll need to use a little bit of hot glue on it, because otherwise it just won't stay in properly. But not a big deal breaker. I'd honestly probably use hot glue either way, just to make sure that it doesn't move and have the chance of falling out, because then you'd have to unscrew everything. You'd have to unscrew the 6 screws on the bottom and at least 2 of the screws to actually remove this. I don't think you'd really need to remove the Apple Watch or the lightning port for the AirPods, but you might. So definitely better to just put a little bit of hot glue here. Makes it stay together, and I haven't had any problems out of that. But I guess what we'll go over is a little bit of the pros and cons of this really quick. One of the negatives is it includes a rather thick micro USB cable. I'm actually not using the included micro USB cable because whenever you're going to adjust it up and down, it's much easier with that cable. You actually have to cram it to get it that low with the included cable. So Nexgadget, I would really recommend you look for a thinner cable, because most times it doesn't affect the capacity of power you can send through the cable. It hasn't affected it with mine, and it just makes the whole operation a lot smoother if you're going to stick with this design of having to move it up and down to change the vertical or landscape orientation, the portrait or landscape. But I would have liked to seen a little bit thinner cable, but if you're going to just be using it in one position most of the time, you probably won't have any issues with that. Now, you do have to supply your own Apple Watch charger. It's not included, but you do get the lightning cable and a micro USB cable included. And you also get the Phillips head screwdriver and all of the Phillips head screws. I think you actually get a couple spare Phillips head screws to use with this as well. But it's not very hard. We'll go ahead and look underneath. You can see the 6 screws roughly. And just to show you what it says on the specs underneath, you can see 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz input. Max total output is 5 volts, 6 amps. And the max per port is 5 volts, 2.4 amps. Which is what it says on the back of it too. Now, you may not be able to get the full 2.4 amps out of both ports on the back if you're charging your AirPods and your watch and your phone at the same time. You may get a little bit of current limitation, but overall I'd say the power supply is plenty for the purpose of this. And one more thing I'd like to say is, in a future version, I'd like to see this pad, instead of having a hard material, it has like a soft touch, kind of like the plastic on the base, or even better, a rubberized ring like on the back of the charger. And one more feature I'd like to see in a different version is a mount that, instead of forcing you to have it propped up, for you to lay it flat. Because personally, I like flat chargers myself, but I know I'm in the minority when I say that. So that's just a feature I'd like Nexgadget to consider for the next version. But overall, it's a very good device, I have to say. For the price point, it's much better than spending $60 or $70 on one of those wireless charging stands from Belkin or Logitech, I think. This is definitely a much better value than those. Gives you plenty of power for your everyday needs. And especially as a nightstand, just having everything collected into one US power cord, or one just AC power cord, is very, very nice. But one more thing I'd like to see them consider is a soft touch material on the Apple Watch and AirPod area, so you don't risk scratching your AirPods or the back of your Apple Watch. But some pros of it, obviously, you get everything into one nice compact package. It's actually not that big for comparison. This is my iPhone 10, not the 10s or 10s Max, just the regular iPhone 10 from when the iPhone 8 was released, and it's barely bigger than it in overall footprint from a flat perspective, and it's not much. I mean, it's a bit thicker, but it's really a lot smaller than I expected to see it, which can be a good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. I personally think it's a good thing, but it's a very nice device. The metals are very sturdy, very strong, and they feel really good. They actually act as sort of a heat sink for the wireless charging pad over here on this side, which is an unexpected bonus. But overall, yeah, I'd say if you haven't picked up any of the wireless chargers yet, and you're just sort of looking for a device to compile all of the stuff you have in to one easy unit, this is a very good device to do that with. There's just some very small personal things I'd like to see changed, and but for the most part, it's fine. It's a really nice organization of your charging needs. So, hope that was helpful. I'll try to do a second video showing you how to put it together, but that's really all I have to say for now. Thank you for watching.